Did you guys watch the headline? Augment transfers are coming. So the very first thing I want to address is, of course, the augment transfers. A lot of people may have missed it because they buried it under the operation report. Normally people are like, operation report, they're stupid questions, we don't care. However, they are now putting in the developer letter in the operation report, which actually gives us a lot of very useful information. And one juicy detail that they covered over is the augment transfers, which were supposed to come along with the 11-star weapons. Yes, we are getting new 11-star weapons with the introduction of Falz Dalion. So, you know, that's going to be the main motivation on why you want to run that one all the time. But unfortunately, the development team was not able to finish the augment transfer system, and so they are going to need to delay it a little bit. However, it won't be delayed too much. I expect it to come out in May, June at the latest, but nevertheless, this is excellent news because now I can safely invest into all of my weapons, knowing that, hey, we are getting augment transfers. It's confirmed, Sega's told us, and you know, now I don't need to re-augment everything and I, you know, waste all of my expensive augments on gear that I don't need anymore because it's outdated. So this is incredibly good news. But do you guys know what is even more amazing? That is the new all-ship matchmaking for Leciel Exploration. So Leciel Exploration is getting a refresh. There's going to be higher level mobs, more difficulty, better weapons, new loot, as well as new modifiers and bosses. However, the main thing that I am super excited about Leciel Exploration is the enable all-ship matchmaking. You can now play with all of your friends on other ships. This is absolutely awesome. The best part is it's not like base game where when you went to the universal ship you couldn't bring anything over, you farmed there and you could bring nothing back. This is totally different. In the all ship matchmaking, you keep all of the loot. So you go into Leciel Exploration, you farm, you get like a 10-star weapon, right? You get to keep that 10-star weapon. You get to keep all the Meseta you made. You get to keep everything you farmed for while you were in that Leciel Exploration session, playing with other friends from other ships. It is super, super cool, super useful. And the best part is you can actually show off all of your finalized gear. I can now play with Spook, that is on ship 4. I can play with Skulls, that is on ship 3. And I can flex my super min-max character and be like, oh, I'm so powerful and strong. And it's just gonna be a fantastic experience. I am very, very happy that they have finally decided to take the leap of faith and add this into the game. Now, obviously, they could have just solved this by merging all the ships together, but you know, some people don't like that, and so having this as an option is definitely nice to have. Now, do keep in mind they have an asterisk over here. This feature may be suspended without prior notice due to it including experimental gameplay elements. So what they mean by that is because there is going to be a lot of data flowing between all of the different servers in order to get this to work properly, so there may be some hiccups along the way since this isn't tested yet. You know, we don't have like a PTR server or anything for NGS. They just kind of throw it on the live server and hope for the best. So yeah, there may be issues, and if there are any issues, they will, you know, disable this function. So hopefully everything works and there aren't too many issues, but if there are, you know, I'm sure they are going to put this as a priority to fix it since it is Leciel Exploration. It's like one of the main game modes for this month anyway. So I do believe that they will put a lot of emphasis on this and put a lot of effort in fixing all of these issues ASAP. But now with those two big bombshells out of my system, we can now go over all of the other stuff. So first of all, we do have the Rurouni Kenshin collaboration. So this is pretty nice, you know, samurai katanas, bravers, kind of cool stuff. However, Sega did pull a fast one on us over here, and they actually locked the weapon camo of the Sakabato sword behind a scratch count bonus. So if you want Kenshin's sword, you are going to need to scratch, I don't know how many times, I think it's like 60 times or 80 times in order to get the freaking sword. So that is a big oof. However, don't worry because there is a better katana weapon camo that you can actually obtain in a later scratch. We'll go over that slide in a second. So as we can see in this slide over here, on April 24th, there is a limited time bonus scratch. These are obtained through special scratch tickets. So all you need to do is just play the game, do the task, do the limited time quest, all of that stuff in order to get these tickets. And there is a katana weapon camo called the Petal Shroud. As we can see here, it is a blood red katana. This katana, in my personal opinion, is better than the Sakamoto, so I'm just skipping the Rurouni Kenshin katana altogether because, you know, it requires me to spend real money and I don't want to do that. So I am just gonna pick up this katana over here and just call it a day because it's blood red. It looks freaking awesome. Now, while we're on this slide, you can also see that we can get the NGS spec outfit of Jean. She is this girl right here on the left with the big bazonkas, and she is absolutely beautiful. Now, there is a body pillow version of her, which is like ultra lewd. However, unfortunately, I don't think it is available in this scratch. You had to get it in the base game, but who knows? It might come back. It would be really nice if it did come back. But as usual, I am getting way ahead of myself. Let me pull myself back and let us go over all of the new content that is coming out early April. So there is going to be another SG support item select. So this will give you all of your powerful augments such as your Gladiosol S, your Gigas Maste S. Now keep in mind there is no Gland Gigas Maste S, alright? And you cannot use Gigas Maste S in order to craft Gland Gigas Maste. So just understand that, sure, there are some powerful capsules in this SG scratch. However, they are not usable as material to craft stronger ones, and they're not giving you the best augments. So, you know, I wouldn't really spend SG on this unless you really wanted the preset skill item protections, you know, to just guarantee some high fixes onto your weapons or your armors, because do keep in mind they have officially announced that we are getting 11-star weapons later in the month. Another thing that I mentioned earlier is, of course, the new gameplay elements to Leciel Exploration. This is coming in April 10th, so relatively soon as well. So they're basically allowing us to do some crazy things that will pretty much break the game in Leciel Exploration, such as consecutive photon blast. That just sounds awesome. Being able to photon blast back to back to back just sounds really, really awesome. However, obviously the mobs are going to be leveled up. They're going to be stronger. There are some new mobs as well, the Giruva dolls. So these Giruva dolls, they're basically sort of like, they kind of remind me of Minions, I'm not gonna lie, because they got this giant eyeball and it just kind of reminds me of the Minion guys, and I'm just like, what the heck? But nevertheless, think of like Minions with the big eyeball merged with starless enemies. It sounds really goofy as I say it out loud. However, you can see in the B-roll, they don't look goofy, okay? They look pretty scary. But nevertheless, there are these new Minion bosses. I'm just gonna call them Minions from now on. However, on top of that, they're bringing back two bosses back from the base game, and that is the Execule as well as the Vibras, and these are enemies back from the base game. These are from the Lumen mechs, and they are absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to fight Execule. I loved fighting this guy. He was a pain in the butt to deal with because he can manipulate gravity, and it was just a pain in the butt. However, it's very, very memorable. So I am happy that they are bringing Lumen mechs back into the game. Sure, it's through Leciel Exploration, but I mean, you know, as I said before, my video ideas, they should just bring back everything from base game into Leciel Exploration and just rotate it on a weekly basis, and then Leciel Exploration will be super duper fun to play. Now, another thing they've also added to Leciel Exploration to incentivize people to actually play it is new 10-star weapons. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the Xover weapons. Nevertheless, they do look pretty cool. However, we already have rare weapons, and we already have the announcement of the 11-star weapons coming out. So for my hardcore players that are gonna be farming Dark Falz Dalion like over and over and over, like myself, you can pretty much skip this weapon because it's not gonna be better than an 11-star, obviously. However, if you are a more casual player and, you know, you have a rare weapon but doesn't have a fixa on it, you definitely could farm for this. And personally, I would just go with this weapon if you're just the average player. If you're not the crazy player that's gonna farm like thousands of runs of the Dark Falz Dalion, you can just upgrade to this weapon and you can be done with it. Or if you have a rare weapon with like a fixa 4 or fixa 5, you can just stick with that and you're gonna be perfectly fine. Now, the next thing I want to go over is the tech arts customization. So all of this is coming in on April 10th, so that is really fantastic. They are implementing for Ice, Thunder, as well as Dark techniques, so that is really, really nice to hear, as well as 1 PA for each weapon type. So I am very, very excited to see how this affects the Braver mainly, because you know, I main the Braver, even though I do love the Force. You know, I love you guys a lot. However, Braver is still my main class, so I'm definitely going to be testing out everything for the Braver first, and then we'll try out the Force afterwards. Now, on top of that, we are getting the Mission Pass NGS Season 31, and we got a beautiful chibi Kanui mag device, which is really awesome because Kanui did win the NGS character election or whatever it was called on Twitter. So we get her little mag device, so that is pretty cute. Now on top of that, we are also getting some big changes for our daily tasks, where they're basically removing the requirements of like farm in X combat zone and kill X amount of enemies. Now they're just removing the requirement in a specific zone, so you can literally just kill enemies anywhere in any combat zone. They're also changing your alliance task, where it's like, oh, collect like 10 note A's in Stia or whatever. Now it's just collect any capsule from Stia. So it's going to be a lot easier to complete all of your alliance tasks, all of your daily tasks, all of the regular boring stuff that a lot of people just don't like doing, and it kind of wastes a lot of time. It's going to be a lot easier to complete all of these things. The next thing I want to go over is weapon enhancing and armor enhancing. They're finally allowing us to just use the augment capsule, the Indamio, as well as the Astrio, as a fodder to just feed directly into your armors. So remember your Golden Prim armors 2 and your Golden Prim swords 2, you used to change them into the Indamios, and then if you wanted to sell them on the player shop, you change them back into the swords, and if you wanted to enhance, you had, it was just annoying and a huge time waster. Well, now you can just use the Indamio right away as a material to enhance all of your weapons. It's super good. I am very happy to see that all of this kicks in on April 10th. Now, the next thing I need to talk about is, of course, the new high difficulty quest major target suppression mission Planet Crusher Blitz. Gosh, that was a mouthful. But nevertheless, it is the Dark Falz Dalion. I really hope they do have some sort of introduction to how the heck this thing came to be and like why it's here. Because, you know, just throwing Dark Falz left and right and just not explaining anything to us kind of sucks. So I really do hope that we do get some cutscene, like when we log in or something, to understand what on earth is going on, where did this come from, something like that. But this is going to be the meat and potatoes for all of the endgame players. We are literally going to sit here and we're going to farm this like 1,000 runs, because you know and I know that the drop rate for the new 11-star weapons is going to be absolutely doo-doo, and the 11-star weapon drops from this boss right here. The developers even addressed this in the operation report, that in the previous weapon, the Flugogard weapon series, they didn't put it with Dark Falz Solus. And so a lot of people are like, why should I even farm Dark Falz Solus? And so this time around, they actually put the 11-star weapons behind this boss. So it's to incentivize all the endgame players to farm this piece of content over and over and over. Now, if you're a more casual player and you don't want to farm this because, you know, you don't have friends or you're not geared enough and this is too difficult, don't worry, the dev team has already assured us that this piece of content will come out as an urgent quest in May/June. So if you can't do this piece of content, but you still want the 11-star weapon, don't worry, you just need to wait a little bit longer and you'll be able to get it, alright? And to be perfectly honest, you know, I bet you I'm gonna make a video farming this, and I can assure you, I'm gonna run this like 100 times, lose sanity, and still not get the 11-star weapon. I can almost assure you that is gonna happen. I'm probably gonna be running 420% RDR or 6969 RDR or something stupid, and still not get the weapon after 100 runs, 200 runs. Hopefully I get it after 300 runs. But, you know, I have very low expectations for the drop rate, because you know, and I know, and everyone knows that rare drop rate is a lie, and we're going to be sitting here farming this for days on end, probably weeks or even months. Now, of course, everyone wants to know, alright, 11-star weapon dropping, what does it actually do? And the developers know that we want to know what it does, so they wrote it right here. Its potential increases damage to enemies for a set time after hitting them with a photon blast. So again, it's a very supporty type of weapon, very similar to the Flugogard weapon series. However, it just allows everyone to deal more damage against an enemy that gets hit by a photon blast, so that is pretty nice. And even the weapon design literally looks just like a Flugogard weapon. It's just recolored to like silver and blue. But it's an 11-star weapon and is gonna have bigger numbers, so that's my main motivation. I'm literally gonna smash my head, lose my sanity for a freaking recolored Flugogard weapon. But nevertheless, this is content and I'm gonna be farming this like crazy. By the way, I don't recommend people to be insane like me, so you know, take your time. please be normal and just pace yourself, you know? Don't be like me. I'm gonna burn myself out eventually. Now, another little snippet that they added over here is new title tasks for major suppression, as well as missions and updated weekly tasks. They did mention in the headline that this is gonna be a daily Leah May quest, so Planet Crusher Blitz is gonna be in your daily rotation if you are gonna be running all of the different bosses. So it's gonna be Planet Crusher Blitz, then Darkfall Solus, and then Malevolent Darkfall's Aegis, and you're gonna be running these 3 bosses every single day to get all of your goodies. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be NGS's 3rd anniversary Halpha Super Origin Festival. So they just gave us the cover art over here, as well as this big logo over here, and it's starting in late April 2024. The TLDR is we're going to get a lot of star gems, we're going to get a lot of rewards for logging in and playing the game and just having fun, all right? So when this comes in, just log in every single day and you'll be fine. And as we can see here, it's going to be very similar to our normal seasonal events, however, with a lot more goodies. So basically, there's going to be a ton of login rewards, a ton of limited time quests, a ton of titles, and just a ton of stuff to do in order to get a bunch of rewards, as well as a bunch of star gems and other goodies. One of the main driving forces is going to be, of course, the special scratch, because as we can see over here, you know, you want Jean's outfit over here, you can get it. You want that special katana, you can get it. There's going to be a ton of really cool free cosmetic items that you can earn by just playing the game. So yeah, it's going to be a good month. Now, to wrap things up, we do have some fabulous campaigns that are kicking in early April. The first one is, of course, the AC Super Sale Late Spring 2024. It's basically the 50% off deal again, which is pretty nice. Again, you can purchase this on every single platform. So once on the Microsoft Store, the PlayStation Store, the Epic Games Store, Razer Gold, Koda Shop, as well as Steam. So you can actually get a metric butt ton of AC if you connect your account to all of these different platforms. But yeah, you know, if you want to spend the money, of course, or you can just ignore this. But on top of that, we also have the Gear Up Your Class special campaign, where you get a bunch of rewards for basically leveling up your Ranger as well as your Bouncer. But the most important one is the bonus daily task. This is another weekly source of star gems, as well as a bunch of Meseta, as well as end color change passes for my fashionistas out there. So basically, every Sunday and Monday, you guys are going to get some special quests that you need to do every single week, because this does reset weekly, and you get some end color change passes, star gems, as well as end Meseta. And last but not least is, of course, the confirmation of the Atelier collaboration. I went over this in my predictions. Sega literally, you know, they kind of leaked it themselves. They posted it on Twitter because in the Atelier live stream, they talked about their collaboration with NGS. And so, yeah, but here's official confirmation. So here you go. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.